pollution is a problem everywhere in the world. There is a massive problem with pollution, particularly by solid waste, so plastics. But I think the other thing to be said is that there are lots of examples around the world where rivers can come back, rivers can be restored. And I think what's encouraging about the Meghna River is that it clearly still supports a Hilsa population, and it also still supports river dolphins. We saw a dolphin yesterday on our excursion by boat. And I think the fact that this biodiversity is still here means that there is a good foundation to build on, but it would be very good if pollution can be controlled and if fishing can be controlled so that enough Hilsa are taken out but not too many. And I think there's a lot that can be learned about that sort of environmental management, which will be part of the programme that we are working out now for the next stage of our development partnership with Bangladesh. If I just take an example from my own country, when I was born, quite a few years ago, the River Thames was almost completely dead. And now the River Thames is a thriving waterway with birds, salmon, otters. It's an extraordinary example of how you can bring a river back. And the good thing is that the Meghna is still quite a healthy river. It's under threat, but it's still quite a healthy river. So I think there is a lot that can be done by political leadership and by people changing their own habits about not dumping waste in the river, treating the river with respect, not taking too many fish out of it. And I think there is a really good foundation for restoring the river to complete health. You can see, I mean, the river is clearly the source of Chandpur's prosperity because it provides the fish. It's a stopping off point on the river. But I can see that in these days of climate change, the river is also a threat to Chandpur, and we can see the way in which the community is being eroded even now. And so I think the key to enabling thriving Chandpur to continue is for the community to work together under the leadership of the Mayor, with the support of the UNDP and the central government. And I very much hope that we can continue with some form of the work that we've been doing to enable that to happen, enabling the community to solve the problem, working with partnership, so that we leave no one behind.
Thank you.
We'll continue to work on it because there is clearly a big problem with climate vulnerability here, and that will remain a major part of the development partnership between Bangladesh and the UK. Partners in the municipal government, in the central government and with UNDP. I'm really impressed by the results that we've seen over the last couple of days and by the agency that this gives to communities here. And I very much hope that that can be continued, even though the programme itself will be finishing next year. And I am very interested to see how, with our climate funding, we can help to continue to support climate refugees here in Chandpur, because I think there's a really good foundation of community engagement, community activism here in Bangladesh, something for which we and the Rohingyas themselves are very grateful. As to how we resolve it, I think we continue to put pressure, as much pressure as we can, on the government in Myanmar. It's not easy. We would like it if more countries were to join us in doing that. But we are very clear that the best thing for the Rohingyas is for them to go back to Rakhine as soon as it's safe, dignified, and they can do it in a voluntary way. So once the conditions are right, then we would really hope the Rohingyas will go home, and that is what the Rohingyas say they want. In the meantime, while they have to stay in Bangladesh, then I think it's very important that they are given what they need to live productive lives. So it means the children going to school and the adults being able to volunteer to keep conditions decent in the camps, and where possible for them to have livelihoods that enable them to make a living, so that they are prepared and ready to go back to Rakhine as soon as conditions there enable them to do so.
Way so that we can continue to support our climate displaced population, especially those women and girls. Thank you so much.
Would you take any sustainable project for that?
Well, we are putting together a new climate and sustainability programme, which we announced at COP26 summit last year. It will be a big programme, and we're still working out exactly where it's going to be. But I think Chandpur has two things going for it. One is there is obviously a big climate vulnerability here, so it is important from that point of view. And the other is that I think, as we've seen yesterday and today, we have a really good partnership with the Mayor, with a good partnership with central government and with UNDP. So I think there's a very good chance for us to build on that as we put together our programme dealing with particularly with climate adaptation, where clearly there's a major challenge here.
Last few days, you were working in Chatterton. the poor people who are
আমরা অলরেডি দাওয়াত করছি নাকি ফ্যামিলি ট্রিপ দিতে
আর চাঁদপুরের পক্ষ থেকে যেহেতু আসছে আমি সেন্ট্রাল গভর্নমেন্টের পক্ষ থেকে, যদিও এটা শুনতে একটু কানে লাগবে যে সেন্ট্রাল পক্ষে, আসলে আমি আপনাদেরই সন্তান, এখানেরই সন্তান, কিন্তু এটা বলতে চাই যে এই প্রজেক্ট যেভাবেই হোক গভর্নমেন্ট কন্টিনিউ করবে ইন আদার ওয়ে, এবং আই এক্সপেক্ট ফ্রম Chatterton dwellers, the British government and UNDP, all other will participate and to extend their hands to accelerate this kind of activities regarding the urban poor people. Thank you. Thank you.
climate change, will water, river erosion, flood, will take any necessary step for Chatterton?
Well, I think what I would hope. I mean, this project this program will be finishing next year. But what I'm very keen to do is find ways of building on the progress that's been made. And I think it's really remarkable when you see other lives of poor communities have been improved by this program, and you see the enthusiasm of the initiative that the poor communities themselves are showing. Then I very much hope we can build on that. And as I said, we really benefit here from having great partnership with the leader of the municipality, the mayor, with central government, and also with UNDP. So I hope we can continue to work in this field and use some of the progress that we made to take things forward into the future.
Thank you, sir. Next time we will.